MOM Radio and Pipe Bomb Radio present Not Your Mama's Radio Show with your hosts, former WWE superstars Oscar, Sir Mo, and Dreamy Mimi.
Welcome, everybody, to Not Your Mama's Radio Show. Here are your hosts for tonight, Oscar and Sir Mo.
Felix, how you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Just finished having a conversation with former WWE superstar Boris Zukov, and tried to get him. Wasn't in the cards tonight, but that's another story. We'll get him for another time. He definitely was interested and just couldn't do it tonight.
Okay. Well, good. I'm glad to hear Boris is doing all right. How you doing, Sector Chocolate?
I'm sorry?
I'm talking with Sector Chocolate. How you doing, Sector Chocolate?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
All right, man. I'm just chilling.
Just chilling.
Looks like Mo's going to be going to Canada pretty soon, huh?
Yeah.
He's going to be a Canadian here soon.
You got the words down pat to the Canadian national anthem?
Hey! I got the lyrics, buddy.
Oh Canada, and I don't know nothing after that. I do know blame Canada. Yeah, they got nominated for Academy Award for that South Park song. Blame Canada.
Stupid, man.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait. I got another one for you. Mo, don't forget to have the Jigs dinner while you're down there.
Wrong time of year, but I'll see about that.
Nah, I think they have the Jigs dinner all year long. We jig all year long, so you need to look into it.
True that.
Did you guys know that today was Owen's 50th birthday?
Yeah, you know what? We are going to talk. We're going to talk about Owen tonight. That was the homie, and peace to Stu Hart. Not Stu. Stu Hart. Okay.
He turned 100 a couple of weeks ago. He would have been 100 years old. Wait.
Is Stu still alive?
No. He passed in 2013, but he would have been 100 years old.
Okay, all right. Yeah, when I saw that, I thought I was tripping. I thought I saw you pass someplace, but they said it was 100th birthday. I'm like, wait a minute, is Stu still with us?
No. He passed in, I think, the same year that Hawk passed from Legion of Doom.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was another character I used to talk to Stu back in the 94. Stu used to be backstage with Helen when they were running that program with Jerry the King Lawler.
That was some good times, good TV for sure.
Nah, man, yeah, you should have lived it. It was an interesting time. It was an interesting time to say the least.
I'll take your word for it, but I don't know whatever went on backstage. Didn't interrupt with what was going on in television. They always King always had those one-liners, and good stuff.
Yeah. Now, are things going so good in Connecticut that they gave April away for free? And now for new subscribers, May is free too?
Yep.
You know, I'm guessing that money's good. They're not losing money on the network now. Apparently now it's an award-winning network. So I think things are good.
Now, yeah, but okay, they're giving all of these things for new subscribers. What are they doing for the people that's been paying since the network came on? Are you doing those for new subscribers? What about what are you doing to reward the subscribers that are being faithful? You going to give them a free month or something? I mean, let's be fair.
Not likely, because that's usually with any case with any company. When you've been with them for a number of years or months or whatever, usually those are the ones that get overlooked, and they do whatever they can to attract new people in.
Is Dreamy Mimi on? Because we're never in the same place when the radio show comes. You see that number pop up? Where's Dreamy Mimi? Dreamy Mimi, are you on?
Hold on, she's in the shower. She's in the shower.
She's in the shower?
She's in the shower.
Well, yeah, thanks, Mom. I appreciate that.
Hold on. Dreamy, we need you on the radio.
You know, I would cuss, but I promise to stop cussing on this show so much. All right, so, we do have a guest tonight on the last half hour of the show. We're involved in this. I'm involved in this benefit on the Jersey Shore, June 13th. Glenn Kelly Real Estate's giving it. He's got Mick Foley coming in, Tatanka, Sonny, myself. He's got a Kurt Angle. He's got a bunch of, a pretty good lineup for the benefit that he's having. So he's going to be on the last half hour to tell us all about it. And it's going to be in Seaside Heights, New Jersey, at the Beachcomber Resort. But he'll be able to tell us more about it, as we get, further into things tonight. And I have a major, major announcement to make. It's really good news, but the bad news is it's going to be weeks away before I make it. I mean, I've got the deal sealed, signed, and delivered. And this announcement, let me explain how this is. Usually when we make announcements around here, they're self-serving. It's we're going here, we're going there, the show's doing this, the show's doing that. And, it's pretty much all about us. But this announcement that I've got to come up with is for our fans. It's for our listeners. We have what I'm calling the big gift. It's a gigantic prize that you'll receive shortly in 2016. That's when you're going to get it. But it's all done, and the deal is done and everything like that, but it's the big gift, and we're going to hype the hell out of this thing for months and months. Matter of fact, we're not even going to tell you what it is. It's going to be a couple of months before we even tell you what it is. I even thought about not telling you what it is until we had a winner. I'm not going to be that cruel. But we are giving away something really, really big around here. I mean huge. But it's going to be weeks, maybe a month before we build it, before we tell you what that is. But we are going to be hyping it up. So we're calling it Not Your Mama's Radio Show presents The Big Gift. And Felix, in a few weeks, I want you to make a promo that says that. When we run commercials and everything like that, we're going at The Big Gift. And echo Big Bold, The Big Gift. That's what it is. We're giving away something big. Not no T-shirt. It ain't even tickets to Monday Night Raw. This is huge. Big. All right, so anyway. Now that we got that out the way, first tonight, well, first topic of conversation is going to be about the fact that things, and we're not going to spend too much time on this, but things in Baltimore have settled down, and I'm glad. I mean, slowly but surely are restoring order. The cops did get arrested, so, it looks like justice is being done at least to that point. We don't know what's going to happen in the end. It's going to take a lot of things to appease the folks down there. Nothing short of all 6 cops getting the gas chamber is going to make everybody satisfied. But at least that's the first step. Mo, your thoughts?
Well, anybody's going to be satisfied regardless of what the outcome of the criminal trial is, because I don't care what you do, nothing is going to erase just the thoughts, memories, just all of the abuse, and cruelty and stuff of that nature that a certain group of people have suffered for decades, and the problem, the reason why nothing's going to erase it is we still have society here in this country where, and when I say societies, I'll break it down a little bit. Say St. Louis. You have St. Louis, and then you have I don't want to use Chicago because that's predominantly black. Let's just say the 90210 area code, for example. You still have small areas of the country, so to speak, where the children are still being raised with a 1950s mentality, and as long as you're still breeding that kind of thing, and as long as we still have representatives in Congress making laws that still have a 1950s mentality, nothing in this country is ever going to change in that respect. And so the anger is never going to, it may subside, but it'll never die. And all it's going to be like a wildfire, All it takes is one spark to get the fire going, and then it takes all hell to get the fire put out. But it's only put out until that spark happens all over again. So nothing that happens in this generation is gonna satisfy anybody, and that's just being real about it. Because we're,
all right, Mimi's on the air with us now.
Okay, because people are still being raised with that mentality, So, and that's black and white. That's black and white. Black people are teaching their black kids, not all black people, not to trust white people, and white people are still teaching their kids, that everything needs to stay separate, that blacks and whites don't really need to mix, and there's quite a few arguments out there, man, that would justify why it should be that way, so. You would just have to look back at history at quite a few towns in this country that were predominantly black. Nobody lived under the poverty line. A lot of the people had, a lot of people in this one particular town were more well off than a lot of white people in this other particular town. And so you know what the outcome of that was? The white people went and burnt the town down. So I don't think anything's going to change, man.
No.
Things get better, but nothing changes. Things get better, but nothing changes. People just find different ways to cover it up, to cover up racism. So that's my mind frame when it comes to that.
But don't, and it may not be in our lifetime, but as history goes on, doesn't it have to resolve itself at some point? I mean, you would think that, that it has to, because if it doesn't, we're going to find ourselves in not just a country, but a world divide, and it's just going to rip society as we know it apart completely. I mean, that's where it's headed, unless we all just come to our senses and we don't have to love each other. We don't even have to accept each other. But we need to find a way to coexist in some type of cordial, harmonious, epitaph, if you will. I mean, if not, we're gonna self-destruct, and I don't think anybody wants that. So, I mean, how do we heal? And then after we heal, how do we end this?
No, I think you're wrong right there. I think you're wrong, I think you're wrong when you say you don't think anybody wants us to self-destruct. There's quite a few people in the black community, and there's quite a few people in the white community that don't want to see the races together. That honest and truly wants to see a separation of the races.
No, I didn't say together. I said a way to coexist in harmony.
Right. Okay. To live in harmony unless they're separated. You understand? To live in harmony unless if they're separated, they might can live in harmony. But to live together, there'll never just be harmony, man. That's my point. There'll never just be harmony. If you put all the black people in one half of the United States and all the white people in another half of the United States, do you honestly think that all the white people over here in this half are going to be happy and all the black people over here in this half are going to be happy? No. Because you still don't, then it just increases the likelihood of black on black crime, white on white crime. You know what I'm saying? There's no fix to it, man. There's no. I mean, the way it is right now, I think is probably the best it's gonna get. And I might be wrong. That's just my personal feelings. But the way it is right now, which is not too bad, because it's like this right here. 25, 30 years ago, if you said to me, that black people will be sitting in the positions that they're sitting right now, I would have told you you're a damn fool. There's no way that white America is going to let that happen. 25, 30 years ago, if you'd have told me that one half of the city that I grew up in, and I mean one half, that owned, operated, and ran businesses, everything from laundromats to auto mechanic shops to grocery stores, owned by Hispanics, I would have never believed that. You know what I'm saying? If you just said that.
All right, so if they can come that far in 25, 30 years to what you don't believe, and you don't believe the races can amend, what happens 25, 30 years from now? If they can make those strides, can't they make more strides 25, 30 years to harmony?
It's going to be about the same as it is right now.
Well, that's what you thought 25, 30 years ago.
I tell you what, 25 years from now, when they elect the second black president, then you can have my vote.
Yeah, that's a bit too soon for that.
What, 25 years?
Yeah, you're talking to. So they're gonna be another black president. My sons will be dead and gone before we see that one again.
Okay.
You can cancel that. You can forget that. I'm sorry. I don't mean to sound cynical, but I know better.
We got a black one running next year.
Yeah, okay. Well, he can run all he want to. They still going. The white folks still going today. There must be some mistake.
What was he thinking?
What did President Lincoln say after a 3-day hangover? I freed who?
I signed that mess of what? Oh my goodness! I thought I was signing a penis up, not an emancipation.
A emancipation proclamation. What?
A proclamation.
Why they all just running around outside? Why they working the fields and at home where they belong? You don't want to walk go. You don't want to walk go, Ricky.
You let them all go yesterday?
Yeah. All right, let's start with the racial jokes before somebody get offended. And be like, how dare they? How could they? Easy, because if you can't laugh at yourself, you got a damn problem.
That's right. All
right.
Myself all day.
Shifting gears, Felix and Mo. Did y'all see the fight?
I did.
What'd you think?
Wasn't much of a fight, man.
Okay, but playing devil's advocate, isn't it? I mean, just short of those two marching 10 paces and turning around shooting each other, was anything going to make the people feel like they got the super fight they were building up to? Anything? I mean, what do these two guys have to do, really, in order for everybody to be like, oh, that was worth my money, or that led up to the anticipation, that was worth the wait? Answer nothing.
I'm glad I didn't watch it.
Yeah, well. And now Pacquiao's claiming, his shoulder wasn't 100%. That's the reason why he gave the lackluster performance. Take your loss like a man, dude. And after this, is anybody going to shell out this kind of money or make this kind of deal on anybody else Mayweather fight? Who's left for him to fight?
I don't think so.
Who's left?
Nobody with a bigger name than Pacquiao.
Right. Unless he gained 100 pounds and then Tyson decides to train and come back, that might be something. But anything short of that, I don't even think that will do it. I mean, I just don't understand this whole thing about boxing. I mean, why have they not built up, the next big star to keep boxing as relevant as it was, 20 years ago? I mean, I'll be honest, this was like the biggest fight in God knows how long, and to me, this wasn't even a big fight. It wasn't a heavyweight fight, Mayweather-Pacquiao. I personally could give a damn about either one of them. Yep. The big winner, Las Vegas. That was the big winner. Maybe $1.5 billion in revenue on top of the billions they already got. They just added it, added that to their coffers. That's who the big winner was. And the fighters, because, Mayweather and Pacquiao, they both, I'm not even going to say they set for life because, Mayweather's pockets are long, but he got the kind of money that a fool could lose or, on a drug-addled weekend or a bad bet with a hooker. So, I'm not even going to say he's set for life. What?
That dude just got $140 million, dude, for one fight.
Yeah, well, how many people have you heard of with $140 million or more that lost it all?
I know quite a few.
Exactly. That's my point.
Mike Tyson.
I mean, yeah, I gotta watch YouTube because you got some people on there that explain to you how you lose $140 million. Because I don't understand it, but I know for a fact it can be done. Yep. So, all right. So everybody's all caught up. The fight was lackluster.
Yeah.
Black and white people ain't never gonna get along. Well, Cooking with Gas with Dr. Mama's radio show. Felix, was Remy on yet? Are you seeing them?
Yes.
Hey,
a long time ago.
Shower.
Hey, Mo.
I called for you to come on out the shower minutes ago. Oscar threatened to kill me.
He told y'all I was
promised
on a
himself he
while
wouldn't cut.
ago.
Oh, I knew you was on. I knew you was on.
I'm sorry, we were too busy making black jokes. You know how you feel about those.
Mhm. Because for some reason you don't know that you black.
Yeah,
I think sometimes he forget.
I don't understand it.
I think sometimes he forget. The only time he's reminded is when he orders some chicken and watermelon.
I'm going to explain this to you people one more time, and for the listeners that don't know, it go like this. My granddaddy was pure Caucasian on my mama's side and my daddy's side. My mother was mixed, black and white. She was so light-skinned, she could pass for white downtown in 1959. All right? So, yes, I am partially African and American, but I'm not all black. I'm sorry. You can look at the grade of my hair and tell that I've got some other issues going on in my heritage, and I embrace those issues.
Look here, man. I don't want to be one to bust the bubble. You know what I'm saying? You know, because my buddy, the Caucasian Hispanian is on the line. The Cajun is on the line too. But I don't want to be one to bust your bubble. But let me just kind of spell this out for you in layman's terms. In America, if you are 1% black and you's a nigga. You understand? Now, you can sugarcoat it.
And if you go look in the mirror, you look.
I know I'm black. I'm
talking about your boy.
I know. All that cakey stuff he got on his head. Oh, Chubblewood, don't be trying to act like, boy. You know who you sound like right now? He sound like he one of them old field niggas.
I got best friends that are black. I married
we
black.
Sick now, boss.
Oh, what?
We sick, boss.
Yeah, well, I'm friends with your black ass. So, what do you want?
It's all right. I love being black. You know, Mimi loves some dark chocolate.
Oh, yeah, she loves some dark. You know what? Yeah, she sure do. She told me that just the other day. Ain't that right, Dreamy?
Actually, I did. That's funny.
See?
She sure do. I looked in the mirror and started crying because I ate chocolate.
Sorry, cuz.
Yeah.
Don't fit the mold.
That's
funny. Don't fit the mold, brother.
My wife, yeah, you hit it right on the head, Mo. Yep, she loves us some dark chocolate. She said that just the other day.
Oh, wow, that's funny.
Mm-hmm. Ooh-wee, such is my life. Yeah, I heard you still when she was talking about something, he was like, oh, he really chocolate. Oh, who getting pulled over by the police because they black? See, that's just being black.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he ain't chocolate enough. See, I don't move that quick no more, but I wanted to jump up out that bed. He ain't chocolate, no. Yeah, I got your chocolate.
Man. That's okay.
Anyway,
at least he was being honest, man.
Yeah, that's okay, Yeah. Honesty is the best policy. Thank you, honey.
It's all good.
He be thinking he know me.
He still loves you, though.
Definitely.
Nobody can take your Chubblewood.
No, shut the hell up.
Except your boy.
You know y'all got issues.
Man, you need to get on with the radio show, man.
All right, so, okay, I think we've got another failed experiment for tonight, lack of poor planning. We were supposed to kick off our independence seminars, but a lot of our famous friends, the weather got good around the country, so they were too busy to get up with us tonight. So what we are going to do is we are going to talk about the topic anyway. we're going to talk about what makes a good indie wrestler and what are the chances of guys going from independent to pro. Now, it's got to be the same chances of any other sport in the business, even harder. I mean, from playing basketball on the basketball court at the park to playing in high school to playing in college, then getting an NBA contract. Same thing with football. Being at a high school football star, thinking you the bomb, going to a great college, you could be going to a number one seed college and be the quarterback of the century. Never see that NFL contract. Major League Baseball, you could be in the minor leagues and never get picked up by the New York Yankees, and such as the WWE. You can be an independent wrestler, and you can have a great character. You can flip around that ring like Mil Mascaras or Rey Mysterio or Justin Liger and never see Vince McMahon face to face, or more importantly, he never sees you. So in the independent business around the country, there are hundreds of independent promotions, and once again, we're going to learn what to do and what not to do. Dreamy, we're going to go back one more time to Cauliflower Alley and talk about the mess that was. And the reason why we're going to discuss it again is because we saw a bunch of don'ts in the do's and don'ts category of what independent wrestling should be, what they should look like, or what they should do. Now, I love Jesse Hernandez, no cut on him. A couple of other promoters, I don't know them. But I'm sorry, what those guys put on at Cauliflower Alley with all the talent, not even the talent, with all of the wrestling aficionados, the wrestling legends that were looking on, and just the space they were in, I'm sorry, that was a hot-ass mess. And they need to really clean up their act if any of them are coming back in 2016. So, yeah, I don't care if nobody's here. We're going to talk about our topic till the cows come home. So,
I think we kind of, when it comes to that, I think we kind of cleared that part up. It didn't have anything to do with, like, say, the wrestling promotions themselves. They could have been, all of them could be great promotions. And like you were just saying, no, cut on Jesse Hernandez or different ones. It was just that, when you got a bunch of people and you pour them into a place that whoever is in charge, they don't know you like that. They don't know all of your talents. They don't know. And then it's a bunch of guys. I mean, a bunch. It was a ton of them. Then they're putting on matches and putting together a show, but they don't know these guys. So
No, hold on. I'm going to correct you, but let me tell you how they did that. And this is the reason why I'm so disgusted. Every promotion, they didn't cross promotions in the ring. Every promoter matched up their guys with who they normally work in their promotion.
Oh, wow, okay.
That's what made it so, and I don't mean to correct you, but that's what made it so bad. If you got a promotion and so-and-so's got a promotion, those guys are working each other all the time, then they should have had matches that were in sync, down pat, and the thing shouldn't have lasted a full work day, 8 hours per night. This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, then in that case, I totally agree. Because honestly, what we go see at Fire Pro was better than what we saw there. And that was, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, talk about Fire Pro for a second. Fire Pro, independent wrestling promotion out here in Northwest Indiana. It's run by, a good friend, Pastor Bob. It's a church-based organization. They set the ring up in a church. It's a pretty good, sizable church. They draw about 100 and some odd fans. Well, they have matches every 2 weeks or once a month?
Once a month.
Once a month on a nice Saturday night, they have a wrestling show. They run a school, which is the main teacher's a good friend of mine named Bill Shelton, who's real experienced. He's been a jobber in WWE, WCW, got some experience, and he's a really good teacher. Christopher Kent is the booker, but Chris Kent is head done gotten so big that he think he's Triple H, but that's another story. But their matchups are really, I mean, one of the things that's aggravating about it is they do the same thing every month. You see the same matches, pretty much every month. But the reason they do that is because they're not experienced enough to mix and match. The matches they have are really, really good for independent wrestling because those guys are used to working each other. They have each other's moves down pat. They work each other. They take care of each other. You see some good matches. The problem is you see the same thing over and over and over again. So, Mo, you're the expert. How do you combat this? What makes a good independent promotion? Let's start there.
Truthfully, I think having a school.
Well, they got a school at Volleyball.
No, I know, but I think what makes a good independent promotion is having a school. And when I say that, you have a combination of guys that have some experience and guys that don't have experience. So you can, like you just said, for example, guys been working each other, for months and months and months, and they do the same thing. They get comfortable. Well, let's just say you got a school with 10 guys, and you bring in 10 different guys each month in to work these new guys. You know what I mean? And you work them, say you work like a 6-week program before you swap them out. And which it helps the guys develop, and then you swap them out, you put them with somebody else. That helps even more because what happens is if you keep putting the same guys in the ring with each other, and then all of a sudden they get a call because you got these two guys that can work a fantastic match with each other, right? And somebody sees a fantastic match between these two guys, not knowing that, they've been doing it together with each other for 3 years. You know what I mean? And somebody gives them a call, say, okay, we want you to show up in Philadelphia. We want to give you a tryout, the Ring of Honor. And then they get stuck in the ring with somebody like a Roderick Strong or Matt Hardy, somebody they've never worked with before. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a disaster. What makes a great independent guy is somebody that can go to Tennessee and work Tennessee style, and then show up next week in Chicago and work Chicago style. Then show up in New Jersey the next week and work in New Jersey style. Because there's so many different
right there,
styles.
You just hold on. You just hit something that I'm hearing for the first time. What makes the different territories that you just mentioned? What is the difference between a Chicago style and a Tennessee style, and how do you determine the difference?
Well, Tennessee style is, man, it's lock up, arm drag, hip toss, body slam, that kind of stuff. When you go to Chicago, you might have, instead of a lock up, you might have a waist lock, go behind, takedown, spin into an amateur front face lock. That guy comes out of it, they work to a feet, toot off, reverse hip toss, reverse. I mean, it's the way they put matches together. It's the way they put, like for example, up around New Jersey, New York, it's just a spot fest. Whereas in the South and Tennessee, they might do 1 or 2 spots at a time, and try to let the fans grasp it. The Tennessee match in Chicago might be too slow. You know what I mean? You hear those crowds in Chicago. This is awesome. It's not because the guys are laying down in a rest hold. You know what I mean?
Right.
So there's just different styles, and it's crazy. The different styles like Lucha Underground. The Lucha Underground style, you're not going to get that you go to Tennessee. You might get close if you go to Ring of Honor, that style. You're not going to get that if you go to Tennessee.
Yeah, okay.
you're gonna get locked up, couple moves, grab a hold. Don't do too much grabbing a hold in Ring of Honor and Lucha Underground. They be going.
Now, people, when I say we're talking about independent, like tonight, we're pretty much discussing, in-ring mechanics and everything like that. But we're going to be discussing everything from in-ring mechanics to character to announcing and refereeing. There are plenty of jobs in wrestling besides being an in-ring worker, and independent promotions, they tend to cover everything. So, we're going to be discussing, what makes a good one, what makes an average one, or what makes a bad one, just like, in-ring, just like the in-ring talent. All right, so Dreamy, you watch an independent, wrestling match. What are some of the things as a fan, and I don't even call you a fan no more because you've been around long enough, you've become an aficionado. Some of the things that from your professional eye, as a wrestling podcaster, that you see in independent as opposed to what you see on TV or at a WWE live event. Some of the differences between the way the guys work, the way you see it.
I mean, as a whole, when you see WWE, those guys are working nonstop. I mean, so they're working, not just a match here and there, whereas independent guys, they get booked here and there. Some of them, of course, they're booked, weekly and things like that, but they don't work as often as WWE. And then they don't have, like, the experience and the training like they do. So it's most of the time it's more fast-paced. There's not as many breaks as far as with, WWE, the product on TV. It's just more professional. I mean, that's just the bottom line. Now, don't get me wrong. You can go to some awesome independent shows as well, but it's a lot of times it's hit or miss.
No, okay. All right. Now, I'm going to ask both of y'all this because maybe this is just me, and Mo, you could attest to this. The guy that made the comment that just drove me bananas, and maybe I'm wrong for looking at it the way I'm looking at it, feeling the way I feel, but this question goes to both of y'all. All right, look. The guy said that he never aspired to go to WWE or TNA. He just wanted to be the best independent wrestler he could be. Is that a good attitude to have, or if you're going to do it, everybody should aspire to hit the top if they can? Mo, you go first, because maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's money to be made in the independent circuit. Maybe that's all you want to do. But was that a wrong statement, or did I just take it that way?
You took it that way. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't think it was a wrong statement, man, because when I first got in the business, I didn't get in the business with any aspirations of going to WCW or WWE. I just wanted to be a wrestler. I just wanted to, when I died, I wanted people to remember me for something. And in my mind, Ric Flair is going to die, and everybody's going to know Ric Flair. And so in my mind, my thought was, I want to be like Ric Flair. Not as big as Ric Flair, but be like Ric Flair. And that was be a wrestler.
So to you, even if you were just remembered by the people in your hometown, that's what you're saying?
In my mind, that was my goal. My goal was for people to look back when I die or whatever and say, I remember Spooky. He used to be a wrestler.
Okay.
It wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered if I, got the job with WCW or WWE or whatever. That wasn't a dream or an aspiration. And so when that guy said that, it didn't take me back. it made me think, you know what? Maybe he just, love wrestling, just want to be a wrestler. Maybe he just don't want to put in the effort and the time and go through all the stuff that you got to go through to get to that next level, man. Because believe it or not, man, that's a hard road, dude. It's hard to get from wrestling school, from the independent level to the level of, at that time, a WCW or WWF, man. It's a hard road, man. The reason I don't think you understand it is because of your method in which you got there. You didn't have to go through all of the crap. You didn't have to drive 500 and 600 miles and eat stale bologna and drink juicy juice and eat stale Cheetos and share a nasty hotel room, all of that stuff to get there. That's not to say that the way you got there was the wrong way to get there, because you get there how you get there. But, it's a long, hard road, man, and some people just ain't built for that. Some people just ain't built to go down that road. And that's why you see some people, they just glad to be, as we call it, ghetto superstars.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. All right, Dreamy, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't think that it was a bad statement. Everybody has different dreams and different goals, and then when it comes down to the sacrifices that it takes to be at that level, some people, you don't want to, live your life where you're on the road 300 days out of a year. So yeah, I don't want to be that big. I want to be able to work every week and, make money to take care of my family, but I want to be able to actually see my family and enjoy my family. So I don't think that was a negative or wrong statement at all.
All right. I understand, but let me tell y'all the reason why I totally have an opposite opinion of what you guys are saying. In life, it is my belief, and I believe this since I was a child. If you just want to settle for mediocrity, why do anything whatsoever? If you're going to do something... Wait. Why
is it mediocrity? If he had a position in a independent, or whatever, where he's working every week, he's making the money that he needs to make, he's doing what he loves to do, but in his mind, what is important to him is his family. Why is that mediocre? Because
number one, when you are at an upper echelon level of anything, sacrifices have to be made. You're not sacrificing your family, but you're sacrificing time with them because you are working toward a goal to make your family's life better beyond their dreams. It's a thing to where it's just like when you go into an office. Do you want to stay in the copy room? Do you want to be a manager? Or do you want to aspire to be the CEO of that company if that's attainable? If it's attainable.
It depends on how much you want to put in at that company. That's just like...
That's my question. Why wouldn't you want to put in the time to be the best that you can be? That's my whole thing. Why wouldn't you want to reach for that brand? Okay, it's a thing that... If you can't reach the brass ring, that's one thing. But it's another thing if you don't even put your hands up to try to grab it. That's my point.
I hear your point, but I don't agree with it because I still feel like this. By trade, I'm a hairstylist. Well, some people, you come out of cosmetology and you want to go into a salon and work, and that's fine. But some people want to be a salon owner, and that's fine. But some people are not going to do what it takes or willing to put in the time, the effort, the hours that it takes to be a business owner or to be at that top level, because it's a lot of sacrifice. What?
It's called lazy and complacent. What you just said right there, not willing to put in the time and the effort and the work to ascend to the highest level possible, is laziness and complacency.
No, it's not, because some people's priorities are different. You see people all the time, and it's even in the magazines and stuff, and talked about on the news, how people sacrifice having a family or building a family for their careers. Some people are not willing to sacrifice that. They want the family life, and they want to take care of their family or be with their family.
Well, I mean, in anything in life, and if things in life are balanced, I mean, you may not even have to sacrifice your life or career. Case in point, I'm trying to build a business. I'm trying to build a business beyond my wildest dreams. Am I sacrificing time with my wife? No. I've carved the niche to include her in it, where we spend more time together than a whole lot of married couples still building a business. Ingenuity, a way of doing things. But at the same time, if the brass ring is up there, even if you can't hit it, reach for it. It's just like, what I'm telling y'all is this. It's just like exercising your ass off and being on a diet, but you're not losing no weight. What the hell are you exercising and you're on a diet for if no pounds are dropping off? You exercising and dieting to be in better shape. That's the reason why you're doing it. And it hurts, and it's a grind, and it's hard, and it's terrible, and it's a sacrifice, but you do it to get to a goal. What I'm saying is, people, if you're going to do anything, do it with the mindset of being the best that you can be.
And being a top independent wrestler might be the best that he thought he could be, bro.
Or it might even be enough for him.
Right.
It might be. I mean, I'm not expecting us to come to an agreement on this subject. It's just different ways of opinions. I'm just one of those kind of people where, if you're going to do something, you dream. I put it like this: if you're going to dream big, and go for it. I mean, that's the only way you're going to get there.
Hey, bruh, but here's the thing, man. Everybody don't dream big, though, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I know ever since I was a kid, man, that I had dreams of getting out of the ghetto and being somebody and making a name for myself some kind of way. I didn't know how, but I knew that I was going to get myself out of the ghetto. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, stop right there. In order for you to have gotten to where you've gotten to, you have to have dreamt it first.
Yeah, but that's why I said I had a dream of getting out. I didn't know the dream in which I was gonna get out. You see what I mean?
You got out, but you dreamt it first.
Right, but the thing is, he might not have had that dream, man. He may have just been a wrestling fan that said to himself, "Man, I want to try that," and then after he tried it, he realized that, you know what, this ain't what I want to do full time. I mean, I like it, I want to be around it, I'm going to stay a fan, but me doing it full time is not what I want to do.
All right, let me play devil's advocate and ask you a question, put it to you another way. I don't know what you're going to say, but this is just for my own information. When you broke your foot and you had to get screws in it, right, would you have felt worse if you did that in front of 10 people or 10,000 people?
Would I have what now?
Would you have felt worse when you broke your foot in front of 10 people sitting on folding chairs in a musty auditorium, or would you have felt it was more worth even doing that in the arena in front of 10,000 people?
Bro, to be honest, I couldn't answer that question. All I know is I was hurting like hell. And I wasn't thinking about who saw it, who wasn't seeing it, or or nothing. I just knew it was hurt, and at that time when it happened, I knew I was done. In my mind, and in Nelson's mind, you know, I done tore my leg up and I broke it. It's dangling. So you know, so it was like, you know, in my mind, Nelson's like, man, you know your career over with. And looking at it, I'm thinking, yeah, I'm done.
Oh, yeah,
it was that bad, man.
The eternal optimist.
Huh?
He was the eternal optimist.
Right. You know,
I know that had to make you feel that much better at that time. You looking at your foot, and then he gonna say something like that. You know it's over with, man, right? I'd have been like, all right, we can patch this up and get through this.
Well, he, you know, I felt bad, and then he said that. I felt even worse. Then he said,
I'm sure.
And then he said, you know what you need to do now, right?
What?
And I said, no, what do I need to do? He said, you need to smoke this joint with me. I said, all right, then, dog.
Your brother's an idiot, you know that, right, baby?
Yeah, I know.
All right, it's 4 minutes to the top of the hour. It's time for the news. Next, we're going to go to a commercial. Then it's the top of the hour. We'll be back with Remy Mimi.
All right, be back in a moment, guys.
Tonight,
never experienced anything quite like this.
These are the most, well,
I'll give you a big surprise.
let's see. These are the most,
I'm going to share something with you.
you know, they're just,
It's a poem.
yeah.
This calls for desperate measures. Jumpy, Share weeps out the problem.
Well, that was just about the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
It's the best of the bizarre on an all-new Jerry Springer Presents WWE Too Hot for TV. Available on demand tonight, immediately following SmackDown. Exclusively on WWE Network.
This month, try it for free. The award-winning WWE Network.
You got to move.
It's the heart, it's the insides that make you great.
This is Too Hot for TV.
Do you want to show you how that's done?
Yes. Want to check out new programming and the live pay-per-view WWE Payback? Be our guest and try it. All May, all yours.
Seriously?
Yeah. Go to WWE.com now.
Why would you not watch it?
It's wild. I love it.
Once again, it's time to take a look back at what we saw on Monday Night Raw. Not Your Mama's Radio Show presents The Raw Report with Dreamy Mimi.
This is your WWE report for the week of May 3rd, 2015. The new day, the new phase? I think not. Monday Night Raw opened with the New Day taking on Randy Orton and Roman Reigns in a 3-on-2 handicap match. Even as the crowd chanted, "New Day sucks," they managed to keep their momentum going and picked up the win off a mishap from their opponents. Cesaro and Tyson Kidd may have lost the tag title to the New Day, but they're not letting that slow them down in the least, as they went out as a team on Monday night and devoured the Ascension. Cena holds tight to the U.S. title, with his open challenge being met by newcomer Sami Zayn. He definitely got a run for his money, but in the end, Cena came out on top. At Payback, the WWE World title match will be a fatal four-way. Ambrose beat out Rollins for a chance at the title. Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, and Dean Ambrose will all fight to the finish to see who can, if anyone, take the title from Rollins. In the main event on Raw, there was a merry-go-round of finishes leading up to the fatal four-way at Payback. Reigns took out Rollins with a spear, Orton took out Reigns with an RKO, and Ambrose hit Orton with dirty deeds. As mentioned earlier, you can see Payback for free on the WWE Network if you are a new subscriber. I'm Dreamy Mimi, and this is Not Your Mama's Radio.
So Bo Dallas and Adam Rose jobbing out. Is that what you expected, Mimi? They look like job guys now?
Yep. That's what they're using them for now. I'm not surprised, though. I mean, those were both flops.
Did Rose have that posse with him, the people?
Yeah, he still has the people. They don't do such a big entrance anymore, but they still are standing around the side. And
Bo Dallas is not giving the I believe speeches anymore?
No.
No more I believe speeches. They just there, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They just taking him to court.
Did you see Sami Zayn the other night against John Cena? Did you see that?
Parts of it.
Okay. Now, what do you say? Him and Neville are really getting the push that they really are now, but do they deserve it? Because, I mean, Bo Dallas didn't. Adam Rose certainly didn't. In your opinion, are these two guys working that ring, working the matches to where they really should do something with them?
Yeah, I think they are. See, the thing with Adam Rose and with Bo Dallas, they both came out and it was just like, it was way too gimmicky. It wasn't about wrestling. It was a joke. I mean, that's how I feel. But these two guys are actually coming out and you see some talent and some skill in the ring. And, I mean, it's just a breath of fresh air personally. And they were dominating in NXT before they even got to the main roster.
No. Okay. All right. Well, yep. Well put, well said. We'll be watching these two as the weeks go by. All right, one more question. In your opinion, do you see, down the line any titles coming their way? Yeah, no, maybe.
Oh, I think we just lost Mimi. I'm sorry. We just lost Mimi, guys. Sorry.
All right. Back to the topic at hand. All right. So, Mo, a lot of independent promotions, they just do. There's been around. There are some out in Tennessee. Which ones are the successful ones? And even though they don't really yield no talent, they still stay around forever. What makes it successful? And are the promoters, the guys that run it, all those guys making a good living?
No. There's one successful promotion in Tennessee, and that's USA Championship Wrestling, run by Burt Prentice.
And Burt Prentice is doing good business out there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Everybody else that's probably running those weekly shows that's been running 5 or 6 years, they might be clearing $100 a week, $200 a week,
I'm talking about the guys that run a promotion.
Yeah.
Wow, really? All right, so what is Burt Prentice doing that they're not?
Well, first of all, Burt won't run one town. Burt runs all over the place. He'll run Tennessee. He'll run Illinois. He'll run Indiana. He won't run one town. I mean, he's based out of Tennessee, but Burt gets out and about. Plus, Burt's got a TV show that airs up around Evansville, Indiana, and that area up in there. And works a lot with Jeff Jarrett, works a lot with Jerry the King Lawler. The rest of these guys, man, they don't do no real promoting. Now there is a new group in Tennessee in Dyersburg. It's called NWA Mid South, and that's run by the Golden Boy. Now he seems to be building a business, not just running wrestling. He seems to be building a business, man. I don't remember if it was last weekend or if it's this weekend coming up. He had J.J. Dillon there, but he had a spectacular card last week, man. And but he's running a business. He's got businesses that sponsor his company, that covers a lot of the expense of the show. They do a lot of community stuff like going to the nursing homes and stuff like that. So he's running it like a business, whereas everybody else is just running a wrestling show.
Right. Okay, so all right, so you got, let's say you got a good location. That's a hotbed for wrestling, right? So start us from the bottom. What is it that makes a good promotion?
The biggest thing, man, is awareness. Awareness. Okay. If you're in a town, man, there should be nobody that passes through that town that stops at a store and asks, what is there to do in this town? When people are naming off the different things to do, one of the things should be, man, we have a weekly wrestling show that's pretty good here in town that, runs at this particular place every Friday night or every Saturday night.
Wait, stop. Is that too much? I'll tell you, I'm going to say any town that there is, any town you in, is running weekly a bit much?
No, I don't think so, man, because it's not too much if you're running continuous storylines. Okay. You know what I mean? If you're running the same matches with the same people, for 6 months straight, that's too much. But if you're running, say you got a program with these two guys that, it culminates and ends in 5 weeks, and then something new starts, you know what I mean? You just got to keep it active, and I mean, bruh, to say that it's too much, bruh, would say that General Hospital should have went off the air 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm. And my thing is, I mean, we watch Raw every week, twice a week. We watch Raw and
right.
SmackDown. So, right.
No, okay, all right. So, so we got awareness. Does it pay to bring in expensive talent once a month, no matter where you're at?
You know what? Here's the thing: you build your promotion from the ground up, right? And then once you get a guy that's getting well known in a particular area, you pay and you bring in a name to elevate that guy a little bit more. In other words, let's say you bring in Samoa Joe. You bring Samoa Joe in there to put this guy over, not to go out there and be Samoa Joe and do what he wants to do. His job is to go out there and get this guy over so that when you don't have a name in, this guy draws the kind of money that a name would draw. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
He's drawing that kind of money, but yet your budget is below that. So then the promoter actually makes money. And as long as the promoter's making money, he's got money to put back into it and make the shows better. And that's where the longevity comes in at.
Now, you coined the phrase hot shot booking. Explain that.
Hot shot booking, it would be somebody that wants to start up a promotion, and then the first show that they have, they got 5 big names on the show, and the show draws like crazy, right? And then the second show that they have, they don't have no names on the show, and then they put on this crappy show without no names. And then they wonder why they can't get the same crowds you know, when they run month to month, whatever, unless they bring in a bunch of names. Now, you start out bringing in a bunch of names and say you invest $4,000 in your first show because you brought in those names. Yeah, you break even. You don't lose money. You break even because you sell a lot of tickets or whatever. But then every show after that you don't bring in the names, you lose money because the fans come to this first show and it's fabulous. You know what I mean? It's the best example I can give you is Vince McMahon did WrestleMania, right?
Yeah.
Each year after that, he made it bigger. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He made it bigger. More superstars, more celebrities. He's made it bigger. And so it's grown and it's gotten bigger. If you hot-shot it, that means you bring in all these names this time. Next month, you got to bring in names again to keep it on that level. So, but what happens is you're breaking even every month because you're spending all the money on the talent. And the promoter's not making any money. So what do? They end up just saying, you know what, the heck with this. I'm running these shows and I'm dropping, but the money that I make, I'm having to pay it all back out because I'm bringing in all these names to draw. Win. The easiest way, and I tell people this all the time, build your own superstars. That's what they're doing with NXT. They build the superstars down there so that when they bring them to the roster, and now with the network, and you can see NXT on Wednesday night, when they bring them up to the roster, notice how the fans react. It's not nothing new to them. This ain't just some guy that, you know, that's debuting and nobody knows. Whenever them showed up, when Sami Zayn them showed up, man, the fans were already familiar with it because they could watch them at NXT. So you build your own superstars, man, and that's why guys aren't successful because they don't build nobody. Especially if you're gonna run a town, you're gonna run that town every week. Some kid from that town that was a high school football, baseball, basketball, something should be on your roster, and you should be building him towards being the superstar. You know, and when he's drawing 300 and 400 of his classmates, friends, and family to the shows that you're charging $10 a piece, and you're making $4,000 at the gate, and you're only having to pay out $600, you're making money. You can't beat that.
4 hours of WrestleMania, is that too long?
4 hours is.
Okay. So 4 hours of WrestleMania is too long. Dreamy, what did you think about 5 hours of Cauliflower Alley per night? She's gone.
Yeah, she went to the bathroom.
I didn't know that question was directed towards me. I heard you.
Yeah, 5 hours.
Yeah, I
experienced WrestleMania. 5 hours of Cauliflower Alley.
Right, I heard you. I experienced it personally, and I was ready to cry because it was just too much. And I love wrestling, but I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Okay. Was it too much because it was just horrible wrestling, or just too much because it was just too much wrestling?
It was too much because it was horrible wrestling, but it would be too much if it was great wrestling. Because this is, okay, you think about it, the end of a day, you know, and now you're going to sit, it's supposed to be entertainment. So when you're going for entertainment, you're going to hang out, to go, you know, mingle and whatever, and enjoy a movie, a dinner, a show, or whatever.
Right. Y'all go away?
Yeah, when I thought everybody else, she was saying, you know, 5 hours. Yeah, 5 hours would have been way too long no matter what the product was. I mean, that's just that, you know, people's attention span for entertainment, 2 hours, 2.5 is pushing it. So anything beyond that is just too much for human endurance to sit and look at anything. That's just me. I mean, After an hour and a half, I mean, I got up and went to find me a comfortable chair. I mean, I didn't care
That's
what
why
was going
movies
on.
are no longer than 2 hours.
Right.
I mean, it's like you said, no more than 2.5 hours tops. But, I mean, 5 hours is just overkill. You don't even host a party for 5 hours. If you do, people are gone by the third, fourth hour. And then even if it's hosted for 5 hours, nobody comes and stays the entire 5 hours except for the people that's hosting it.
Yeah, and even if they could slip out early, they leave them too.
So yeah, I thought 5 hours was a bit much.
Okay, so yeah, so a good independent show lengthwise, Mo, an hour and a half, 2 hours tops. I mean, what's a good length? You know, even if you got, how many matches make a good independent show, and what's the length of a good show? Six. Okay, assuming there's 6 good matches.
6. From the first bell to the last bell, an hour and 48 minutes.
An hour and 48 minutes. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
We're talking about action packed. Hour and 48 minutes. You know, you try to get the first 3 matches in within the first 48 minutes. You want to do about a 15-minute intermission.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to give the fans time to get. You don't want to go longer than that either. You don't want to drag out the intermission. You don't want people to get cold while they're waiting for the next match. You know, you want to give them time to go get popcorn, buy a drink, you know, get some pictures or whatever from the guys that's worked already or whoever the star that's there headlining, and then you want to get right back into the show, and then after the last match, you know, you want to leave the people. You want the people to leave happy, unless you build them something for a return. But if you leave them happy, the top babyface gets a win, and he stays ringside to sign autographs and stuff as the people are going out the door.
All right. All right, and on that note, yeah, we've talked about the psychology of in-ring performances and the building of a promotion. Next week, we talk about the side of indie wrestling. We're going to talk about character. Why character is so important. You could be a non-working son of a bee, and if you got a good character, your ass 9 times out of 10, you got a job. We are going to explain and talk about why that is so important. All right, so let's go and pick on Connecticut for a few minutes more. Why the hell is May free for the network? April was free. They gave you Extreme Rules. Now they're giving you Payback. Do they got that much money, or is it failing so bad that they'll do anything to get people to sign up for that thing?
They're just trying to get more subscribers.
So June will be free too?
Tried it. I understand what they're doing. They're in a position now. It's kind of like, man, it's kind of like if you were doing an event, right? And you already kind of like got
crack. The way I get everybody hooked on crack is to give everybody a 7 for free, and then they'll be salivating and paying to the nose for more. I'm sorry, gang.
That's it. That's the answer.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said it. So how long can they keep this up before the network go bankrupt, though?
It's not going to go bankrupt. It's not going to go bankrupt because every time they do that, they pick up new subscribers, man. They pick up new subscribers. I mean, free gives you an opportunity to taste it, to check it out, you know, and if you like it, then you ain't gonna mind buying it. You see? Here's the best analogy I can give you, man. Right?
Yeah.
Is having sex with your wife before you marry her. Does it make you want to marry her, or does it make you want to not marry her? Not your wife, but just in general.
Yeah. I mean, she playing 50 Shades of Grey. You gonna want to hold on to that.
Right.
Well, got it. No, but I guess my confusion is, and I mean, I understand the concept totally, but my confusion is they didn't get what they wanted to get out of it, give it away for free in April. So my confusion was, all right, you gave it away for free in April. You gave it away for free in January, and now you did it in April. You gonna turn around again and do it in May too. So that's why I was wondering, you know, if there was a problem.
How do you know they didn't get out of it in April?
What's that?
How do you know they didn't get what they wanted out of it in April?
No, well, I'm assuming, I don't know whether they did or didn't. I'm on the side of assuming they didn't. That's why they turn around and doing it again in May. Now, I know when they're not going to do it. They damn sure ain't going to do it in March.
They did it in March.
They gave away WrestleMania for free?
Yeah. That's how I want it.
Yeah, that's right, the way they first did it. Do you think they're going to do that again?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just look, man. It's just for new subscribers.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, all right. I mean, I'm not disputing that of it. I was just trying to, you know, get to the bottom of, all right, you gave it away for April, you know, May. All right, so Jimmy, you're a customer. They give it away in May. If you had to subscribe, would you jump on that deal or what?
Actually, we lost Mimi a few minutes ago.
All right, fellas, did you jump on that deal or what?
I don't need to. I actually get my own access through an unknown source, and that's all I'll say about that.
Oh, okay. All right. So the rest of the vatos get it for free. Okay. They got it.
Now, remember, actually, Mo calls me a Hiskasian, so I get the best of both worlds.
Okay, so being that you're predominantly Hispanic, I just got to ask this. We're not going to talk about it. Was you going for Pacquiao? Because all the Latin Americans seem to have been in his corner.
Honestly, I don't give a damn about either one. I don't care for either one in any way, any shape or form. I wish that when Show faced Mayweather, I wish he would have crushed him with one blow, but, you know, that's just me. I don't care for boxing. I haven't cared for boxing in about 20 years, so.
You know what?
Did the episode of Lucha Underground ever come on, the one that you went to?
Yeah, it did. It came on this past. Actually, came on yesterday. The match. Yeah, the very, very, very awesome match between Alberto El Patron and Johnny Mundos, aka John Morrison, tore the house down. Phenomenal.
How many times did you see yourself on TV?
Not as many as I thought I would, because the damn camera would just like quickly glimpse through the crowd and be back in the match and then go, you know, it was very fast. Not as like WWE where I saw myself in the background for like the entire WrestleMania 22. You could see me the entire WrestleMania 22 pay-per-view.
All right, they must have edited the hell out of it, because when I was watching the Green Room, I know I saw you about 5 or 6 times, you know, between the 2 or 3 matches that I saw. I was like, I recognize that red shirt anywhere. That's Felix Pipe Bomb Radio Almeida. I finna get his autograph.
No, what I should do is send you and Mimi, and then of course send Mo some Pipe Bomb shirts and some Nacho Momma Radio Show shirts, and that way you guys can wear them around. I know with Mo, he's got some shows coming up. You can definitely wear the Nacho Momma's Radio Show shirts at his appearances and wrestling matches if he's up for it.
Oh, you got a shipment?
Yes,
I do. They're on sale right now on pipebombradio.net, and then of course that's where I basically bought mine. The one they gave you, I purchased that one, and I was gonna set it aside and take it with me when I went to WrestleMania, which is what I did, and that way I was able to give it to you. That one was on the house. That was a treat.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. No, I mean, if you got some front. Hey, Mimi, you back?
Yes. My phone keeps dropping a call, but anyway, I've been wearing mine.
Yeah. Oh. No, that's some cool. Yeah, that's some cool. Oh yeah, see, when you went on the phone, yeah, the episode when we were at Lucha Underground came on yesterday. Felix saw itself.
I was on.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, not good. We had a good time at Lucha Underground. Now you plan to go back this summer? You need us to put in a word for you with Chris Joseph?
You know, I have considered it. I will wait and see where things go. I know it's incredibly hard to get tickets for sure. So if when that time comes, I'll let you know. But I actually wanted to give you guys a little bit of a news piece that I just read within the last hour. It looks like, and this is something you guys are going to love. I know it because of how close you guys are to the subject in general. WWE has finally been given the green light to do a documentary on the life and times of Owen Hart.
All right.
I've just read about it. Martha's given the okay to do it. I don't know how much further it'll go than what she's going to allow, but she's allowed it, so they're going to do it.
No, that's fantastic news. He's not in the Hall of Fame yet, is he?
She wouldn't allow it.
Okay, well,
Martha's really kind of hung tight on all things of on Owen's estate and matters. Anything Owen is not visible unless she allows it.
Well, I mean, maybe that's a first step because if there's an individual among a lot of individuals, but one of the individuals that stick out in my mind that really deserves that honor is him. Maybe this is an olive branch, to them going all the way. But Mo, we can spend a few minutes. Let's talk about Owen since it's his birthday. What are some of your memories of Owen? I remember one of mine is me and Owen going up to the Coliseum in Rome where Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris filmed that famous scene from Return of the Dragon. Owen and I went up there, we took some pictures, and we had a great picture together. And it breaks my heart that I lost that picture, but we actually took a picture there. I mean, I hung out with Owen almost as much as I hung out with Brett, but he was a fantastic guy, had that little boy look just like him. He used to wear his hat on backwards, just like his daddy, walking around when he was 3 years old. Those were some of the fond memories I have about Owen. Mo, Owen Hart, what are your thoughts?
Super nice, incredible guy. He always treated me, like we belong there. You know what I mean? He never treated us like, this is a new guy. Let's not talk to him or any of that stuff. That time period when I was really down, and you and Nels was doing the singles thing. He used to always see me sitting around and be like, man, just cheer up, man. Don't worry about it. He said, the one thing that you can hold on to is the fact that you're still here, because one thing about this company is they don't mind letting you go. They don't mind sending somebody home. That's one less plane ticket that they have to buy. That's one less check that they have to write. So if they still got you here, whatever the issue is, just keep your head up and it'll blow over. And and at the time, man, I couldn't see any of that, man. And to be honest, man, it was probably the month before Nelson passed away. So we're talking about from 94 until the month before Nelson passed away, January of last year, before I before I realized, you know what I'm saying, that whole thing blew away. It took me that long to realize it, and what's stupid about that is that whole thing was over with by 95 when Nelson won King of the Ring, and me and him headlined Madison Square Garden and a few other places. Me and Nelson in the main event against Shawn Michaels and Kevin Nash. Right. So whatever that issue was with Michaels at the time in 94 was over and done with by 95, you know. And me being bitter about it, and this is one of the reasons I stopped talking bad about Shawn Michaels, because me being bitter about it, man, I thought about what Owen said, man, and I realized, you know what, here I am sitting at home waiting the whole career being bitter about something that was over a year after it happened. You know, and the last conversation I had with Owen was the night before he passed away, because the week before that they did this thing where they had Coco dress up as the Blue Blazer and do a run-in. And the last conversation I had with Owen was he was going to pitch the idea to Vince Russo to put me and Coco together in a tag match as the Blue Blazers against him and Jeff Jarrett.
Right. Now, what was it? What was it like? What was it like working with him? I mean, I know that your layoff, that was the last match you had, but what was it like that? What was that match like for you? I can tell you what it was like for me when the match was over, but we'll get to that after you answer the question.
You know what, man? I was pleased with it, man. What was funny about it was, he was willing to go out there and do whatever I wanted to do. Sometimes you sit and you lay out a match, like we would lay out matches with the head shrinkers, and it would be all about them, man, Right. But it was totally different with Owen, man. It was totally different. It was whatever you want to do, bro, let's do it, And I remember after he put me in that sharpshooter, you know what I'm saying? And I think he had an idea of what was going on, but after he put me in that sharpshooter and he let me go, man, he told me after the match, man, I appreciate that, man. I like the way you sold that, and thank you. I mean, really, really thank me for it. Wonderful guy, man. Ain't nobody better.
That was good for you, because I got a mouthful right after. J.J. Dillon cursed me out after that match.
What happened?
J.J. cursed me out after that match.
Who did?
J.J. Dillon.
Why?
Because, unbeknownst to me, I was supposed to interfere. He had him with a sharpshooter. I was supposed to try to get him with you, and get thrown out the ring and knocked out or something, but nobody told me that. I mean, I was supposed to jump in the ring and try to, jump on Owen and get him off you and all of that kind of stuff like that. And, yeah, I didn't do that. And when I got back there, I ain't never heard JJ yell so loud. I thought he was having a flashback of being with the Four Horsemen.
Hey, Oscar, I just want to let you know that your guest is actually calling in now. Should I go ahead and bring him on?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the Beach Corner Resort, Seaside Heights, New Jersey, June 13th is going down. It's going to be me. It's going to be Kurt Angle. It's going to be Tatanka. It's going to be Sonny. It's going to be a whole host of superstars all on the Jersey Shore, just chilling. And the man putting all this together, Glenn Kelly of Glenn Kelly Real Estate. What's happening, Glenn?
Hey, let me tell you what's happening, Oscar, Mo, Mimi. Pleasure to be on the show one more time. One of the best podcasts I've been on. I got to tell you, love the listening. You guys got a great show. Everything is rocking. June 13th. It's going to be iconic. It's going to be an amazing, amazing show right here in Seaside Heights, New Jersey.
So what are we going to expect? What are we doing? Lay the whole thing out. What's happening?
All right. So everyone always asks, why a real estate guy jumps in with all these big mega names? For example, My company's branded with NFL stars, international bands like Hoobastank. We brought in Mick Foley for
Whoa, stop. Hoobastank is coming? Hoobastank is performing?
No, whoa. Glenn Kelly and Glenn Kelly Real Estate already bought Hoobastank to New Jersey, baby. We did that on a big, giant charity on July 4th last year. So what I'm saying is we brand ourselves, because that's what we're all about, promoting, not only listings and sales, but we're promoting our brand and whatnot. And this year we brand with Eternal Tranquility, which is an amazing, amazing charity event. It's going to be one of the biggest charity events of all time here in Jersey. And we have a new venue. It's the Beachcomber Bar and Grill. Special thanks to Mike and Mike Jr., the owners down there. It's 100 Ocean Terrace, Seaside Heights, New Jersey, 08751. It's enormous. It's all brand new. Let me tell you something. The place is gorgeous. It's going to be mind-boggling. You got, just to rattle off some of the names, Glenn Kelly Real Estate brings in Kurt Angle. TNA champion, Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Tatanka, Tito Santana, Superfly Jimmy Snuka, Lita, Sonny, The $1 Million Man, Jake the Snake Roberts. There's a couple others that are sneaking in there too. We got Oscar in the house. Well, from what I understand, Oscar's going to get on the mic and give me a little rapping too. It's going to be an iconic show live at the Beachcomber Bar and Grill in Seaside Heights, and it's all for charity. It's all for charity. That's the best part about it.
Wait, get back to the fact that Hoobastank is going to be there. Hoobastank and who else? I mean, you know the wrestlers. Forget those guys. You got Hoobastank, so I'm curious as to who the hell else is coming.
Well, we had Hoobastank come out July 4th. They're not coming to this event. But what I was saying was our company, Glenn Kelly Real Estate, has branded ourselves.
I was getting pumped.
I know you were getting pumped, but you missed it on July 4th, baby. You should have been here July 4th, and you would have had special guest seating live up front with Hoobastank. But you missed it, baby. That was July 4th.
All right, so besides the wrestling talent, I mean, who else are you expecting?
So we're going to have a lot of investors of mine personally that are going to be showing up at the event. They're going to have everybody. Seaside Heights is a mecca for entertainment. So the boardwalk is going to be mobbed. Thousands of people go to the boardwalk. When you're talking June and July, August in Seaside Heights. So it's going to be packed. You're going to have all of my agents and whatnot. We are going to be doing things just like we do every single year. We may, earlier on in your show, because I listen, Oscar, I'm a fan of the show. And earlier on in your show, you were talking about how, a promoter, which is what I consider myself, not only promoting listings and sales, but also getting into giving back, charity and whatnot, getting back to the community. When we held our first show, which was going back 3 years ago, we had it live on radio and whatnot, and our top grand prize was $1,000, and a couple hundred people showed up and whatnot, and it was really nice, and that was for charity too. And then last year, we had the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, come out, and let me tell you, props off to him. I know he's listening. I know he's a fan of your show too. Ted stayed all day. He was there all day in the morning. He stayed all night. It was an amazing, integral part of that charity event. It was absolutely off the hook. But that was with one superstar, iconic name. Now Ted comes back with 12, 13 other icons, including yourself, Oscar. I mean, it's just going to be the event of the magnitude. The event of this magnitude and caliber is just mind-blowing to have all these guys, all these icons, in one building. I'll tell you, it's going to blow the roof off the place. It's going to be crazy.
Now, is this place that you're having there, is this actually on the boardwalk itself?
It is on the boardwalk, oceanfront, baby. You're going to be sitting, I tell you, you're going to be mesmerized when you're there. Beachcomber Bar and Grill, what a great venue. And special props, again, out to Mike and Mike Jr., the owners. They were absolutely. They can't wait to meet you, Oscar. They can't wait to meet the rest of the talent. It's going to be amazing.
Well, tell Mike and Mike Jr. I'm looking forward to seeing them. This sounds like it's going to be a blast. Now, from noon to 4, we're going to have a meet and greet and autograph signing. Then from 6 to 9, It's going to be an exclusive party. Tell us all about that. And you got to have tickets. You got to have tickets to come to the party in the evening. So what's the cost for that?
Let me give you the lowdown on everything so that way everybody's got everything. So the date, most importantly, is Saturday, June 13th. That's from noon to 4. It's going to be broadcast live on New Jersey's biggest radio show. I mean, who gets that? 4 hours live, broadcast live from noon to 4. Now, during that whole live stint, that's when you're going to be able to meet and greet all of the talent. You're going to be able to meet and greet yours truly and whatnot. And the talent themselves, now it's free to get in, but the talent will be charging fees for autographs and pictures at the meet and greet, okay? But all the money is going to Eternal Tranquility, which is an amazing charity. You can look up eternaltranquility.com for more information, or Glenn Kelly, GlenKelly.com for more information as well. Now, that's noon to 4. Now, at 6 to 9, that's the private event. Now, the private event is open to talent that's actually coming to the show and partaking in the show. And it's also going to be open to investors and entrepreneurs and whatnot that have helped my company over the years, and also open to all my agents as well as their families and any part of the charity organization, which I didn't mention prior, just thrown in the mix. I know we were talking about it the other night. Dreams Come True, which is a part of Eternal Tranquility. Check it out, eternaltranquility.com. Dreams Come True grants wishes basically to children and adults with life-threatening illnesses to meet and greet superstars and icons that's their dream. And we are going to fulfill it. We are the only sponsor, the solo sponsor of Dreams Come True program with Eternal Tranquility. And we're going to have probably up to 5 partake in the program, and they're going to be able to meet, whether they're meeting Oscar, whether they're meeting Kurt Angle, Lita, whatever the case may be. We are going to be fulfilling dreams right there live. I mean, the event is going to be absolutely spectacular. Now, after you were asking about the private event, 6 to 9, you're going to have a ticket for admission, except for you, Oscar. I may let you in without a ticket, baby. But, you have to have a ticket to get in. And then when you come to the private event, it's going to be an unbelievable variety of food and whatnot. Again, thanks to Mike and Mike Jr. and whatnot, and all of our sponsors for the event. We got tons and tons of sponsors. They're all on GlenKelly.com and all on EternalTranquility.com to put off an event of this magnitude. And during that 3-hour private event, that's more or less when everyone's going to learn about my company, giving back to the community. And throughout the whole process, through the public and the private event, we're going to be giving away things. It's just going to be crazy. Free gym memberships, boxing memberships, jiu-jitsu memberships. We have an unbelievable presence with our local community where we got so many people and companies involved. We're giving stuff away to the community for free. So even if you come out and maybe let's say, you just want to see the talent, you want to be a part of history in the making, which is what this is going to be. And maybe you just want to come out and try to win some of the free stuff. We're going to have unbelievable raffles there for free stuff. It's just going to be off the hook.
Now, how much are the tickets for the evening event, and how do people get them?
Now, the evening event is private only, and it's already sold out. So if anyone wants to get into the private event, it's sold out. They can't get in anymore. We were only allowed probably about 130 or somewhere around there. And as you can imagine, they went very quickly. So, unfortunately, anyone looking to get into the private event is actually capped already. It's going to be filled up with a lot of family and charity and whatnot, the charity workers and whatnot. And it's really going to be pretty basically focusing on a party for my company, Glenn Kelly Real Estate, again, giving back for the 3rd year in a row to charity. And, having yourself there, and I know you're going to be rocking on the mic along with a superstar DJ icon from New York City, Anthony Portizo's coming down. He's just a superstar DJ. He's going to be live mixing, and I know you're going to have to get up there and show them up a little bit. I know what time it is, and I think you're going to do great up there. I'm looking forward to hearing Oscar, on the mic. I'm actually looking forward. I think that's going to be one of the better parts of the show.
You want to ask him. You need to ask the 1,000 people that was at Cauliflower Alley how that went.
Well, let me tell you, when you grab the mic, Oscar, when you're up there and you're doing your thing, it's right on the oceanfront, right on the boardwalk. There's going to be thousands of people on that boardwalk, and they're all going to be there, all listening to you. You're going to have quite an audience. Let me tell you, my friend, it's going to be nice.
Yeah, so my wife didn't have enough pressure. Dreamy Mimi is not a fan of me performing, so I got to show off in front of her if I don't do nothing else.
I hope you're going to be practicing, baby. If you want to throw Glenn Kelly Real Estate into the rock song, I'm not in opposition to that. It'll be good to hear it.
All right. Well, hey, we're going to do the best I can. Dreamy.
We lost Dreamy. I'm sorry. She got disconnected.
We always lose Dreamy. Dreamy's always lost. All right, Glenn. I'm not going to get into it. I sent you a message. Did you get it?
No, as a matter of fact, I didn't. Shoot it to me again or give me a call after the show or whatnot. I don't want to take up too much time on the show, but I do appreciate it. It's June 13th, Seaside Heights, Beachcomber Bar and Grill, 100 Ocean Terrace Avenue, Ocean Terrace, Seaside Heights. It's going to be an amazing charity event. All proceeds go to Eternal Tranquility. Check it out, eternaltranquility.com. Check it out, Glenn Kelly Real Estate, glennkelly.com, GLENKELLY.com. Nobody, you know this, Oscar, and you're going to find out live when you see it. Nobody puts on a show like Glenn Kelly, and nobody. Google it. Google last year's show with Ted DiBiase. It was iconic. It was amazing. This one's going to be filmed as well. There's going to be several podcasts, including your own, broadcasting live. It's going to be off the hook. I'm really, really excited to see you guys.
All right, Glenn. Give me a call on my phone 5 minutes after the hour, man.
You got it, my friend. Thank you.
Don't forget, 5 minutes after the hour.
You got it, my friend. Thank you.
All right, Glenn. Thanks. Can't wait to see you, man.
You got it, my friend. All right.
All right. That was Glenn Kelly. Yeah, we're going to have a good time. If you never been to the Jersey Shore is just off the chain, especially the summertime. So the summertime on a Saturday, it should be an amazing time. So, all right. So the 10 minutes.
I definitely wanted to do is visit the Jersey Shore myself. I was in New York.
The Jersey Shore.
The Jersey train, but never been to the Jersey Shore.
Yeah, the Jersey Shore is fantastic. Mo been out there. He's been to Wildwood a couple of times.
We actually lost Mo about 2 minutes ago as well.
He's been
both
out
Mo
there.
and Mimi bailed.
Through his illustrious career, he's been out there. So, the Jersey Shore is definitely.
Well, you're going to be out that way anyways with the New England Fan Fest at the end of June as well.
Yeah. Joe Bruin, the New England Fan Fest, that is going to be the business. He's got one of the things. Do have an announcement about that. Icon people are looking forward to. Jerry the King Lawrence for some reason had to drop out of being at New England Fan Fest, so he's not going to be there. They're looking for somebody just as big to replace Jerry the King, but Jerry the King not going to be at New England Fan Fest as of now. So we just want to pass that information along.
Well, maybe New England needs El Jefe, the pipe bomb radio. It needs me, I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, hey, man, I mean, it's not a hop, skip, or jump from where you at, but
hell no, it's not. I know that's right.
You're walking in. I now see, WrestleMania, WrestleCon. That was one thing.
Oh, I understand. I'm not worried. I get it.
But this is halfway across the country.
No, what I was going to suggest to you is if you're going to be there, if you in between your guys' autograph sessions and so forth, maybe if you guys can pull some people aside and bring them on the air and chat with them for a few minutes and see how that goes for a show. Maybe you can broadcast live while you guys are there.
Oh, positive. No, I already worked it out. I don't know if you heard Glenn, but I've already worked out a deal where I'm going to be broadcasting live from the Jersey Shore. So we're going to have Jake the Snake out there. We'll have Kurt Angle. We'll have Rita out there and a whole bunch of other people. So, yeah, I'm that
Now, that day actually falls on a Saturday, though. Did you want to do a special Saturday show, or?
Yeah, I was going to do it. I was getting in that Friday. Yeah, if we can do that, that would be great, because that way we can be live and we can grab everybody. So we'll say this, Saturday, June 15th, special edition of Not Your Mama's Radio Show. So we won't be on the June 13th, but we will come on the 15th. I'm sorry, the 11th we won't come on. We'll come on the 13th. Sorry.
There you go. That's cool. Look forward to that. Always look forward to seeing what we can do and who we can bring on. And I actually, I don't know if you got a chance to watch the Roman Reigns documentary on Monday night, but I checked it out, and I got to see pictures and videos, little bits and pieces of the Fairmont Hotel. Holy crap. That hotel is gorgeous. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, man. You should have stopped by.
I don't even know where the hell it was. It's probably up on a hill like Flair's house in North Carolina, probably on the highest hill in the rich part of town or some shit.
No, it was right centrally. It was centrally located downtown in a central area, right smack dab in the middle of downtown. There was no getting lost, no cuts and corners or twists and turns. It was right there downtown, and believe me, after the last day of WrestleCon, I went and checked in there that Saturday, and believe me when I tell you, that was the place to be. And you really couldn't miss it, because when you was rolling around San Jose, you saw all the fans were behind the barricade. It's not hard to find a host hotel for a major WWE event. I mean, they advertise, they try to call it keeping it a secret, but it's like when here you see a big bus with Seth Rollins' picture on it right in front of the hotel. Tour buses,
I actually heard from Lanny, too. He's the one that told me he was going to be there, so, I kind of knew a few months in advance, so, yeah.
Right. They have buses like Van Halen on tour. You see a whole bunch of fans barricaded behind the barricade, So, it's not like it's a real big secret. And I was able to get in there at an amazingly lower rate than what they were charging. That's because I know a few rate tricks for hotels. But no, it was definitely, for WrestleMania, it was. I'll put it like this: if you stayed at the Fairmont, you didn't really have to go to WrestleMania, because if you wanted, because you stood a better chance of seeing everybody in the main roster up close. You wasn't going to see them like that at WrestleMania, or maybe snagging a picture or anything like that, which was difficult because. Like I said a month ago, right after, a lot of them were dicks. But you still had some of the icons Bret Hart was there, and as you mentioned, Lanny was there, and Ric Flair was there, Shawn Michaels was there, Nash, X-Pac, Scott Hall. A lot of the icon Sting, a lot of the icon legends, they all stayed at that hotel. So, if you wanted a glimpse of them and plus all of the main roster, with the exception of I never saw Vince, never saw Triple H, never saw Stephanie, never saw Brock Lesnar, and I didn't see Roman Reigns. Those are the only five that I didn't see, and I'm not even going to say that they weren't there. I just didn't see them.
Did you actually catch a glimpse of The Undertaker?
I got a picture with The Undertaker.
I'm sorry, you had what?
Yeah, I got a picture with The Undertaker. I posted to Facebook, but I'll send it to you. Yeah, we chatted for quite a few minutes, him and him. He introduced me to Michelle McCool, and they had their little daughter with him. And, we chatted for a few minutes.
Oh, my gosh, she was an adorable little thing.
We took a picture right outside the Fairmont. I have that picture, and I'll send it to you in a minute.
All right. No, I was just asking because I know that there are obviously certain people that probably wouldn't be there, maybe unless they come out a different entrance or whatever. But two things I wanted to mention before we get out of here. Number one, your good buddy, your longtime friend, the one that you helped me out with, Bret Hart, he's actually coming out here to my hometown. That kind of blew me away. He's making an appearance here.
He's coming to Lancaster?
Yeah.
When?
He's coming out here to, I believe, July 23rd.
What are they having out there then?
Well, the way I'm looking right now, it's looking like he's making an appearance at a baseball game, doing autographs. That when a friend of mine showed me, and I looked it up, and lo and behold, it was true. So yeah, I'll definitely be looking to see if I can get a chance to meet the Hitman again, and just thank him in person for giving me his time and so forth. See if he remembers me. Doubtful. I'm sure he's done hundreds and hundreds of interviews. So. But the second thing I wanted to mention to you is that Jeff Jarrett announced yesterday about his new roster coming to Global Force, and he's got an impressive roster. You should definitely be. We got to get that guy on sometime. Hopefully, we'll get him on here soon enough.
Oh, okay. Did they give some idea of when the kickoff for that whole thing was going to be?
For what? I'm sorry. The
Global
Force should be.
Right. Did they get a TV deal?
Next month. They'll be actually debuting out in Vegas.
No. Do they have a TV deal or just live events right now?
I think for right now it's a live event. I believe they're going to be broadcasting, and I could be wrong, and I'll have to look into this a little further. But I believe it's in because they had their press conference out of the Orleans hotel, and I think that's where they're probably going to do their first show. I could be wrong, though. But I know it's in Vegas for sure.
All right. Find out when. Maybe we'll make a point to try to show up.
Well, actually, he's still announcing people for, as far as his talent. So I'm thinking maybe you guys should, talk to Jeff. Maybe you guys work out a deal. Maybe you guys will be working in Vegas sometime soon, you and Mo, and come on down and make it one more run.
Who have we got so far?
They've got guys like a Chris Masters. Hold on. I think I have that picture up here right now. I'll tell you right now. I know they have a few of our former guests that we've had on our show. But guys like Chris Masters, Quinn Moose Ojanaka, PJ Black, which was just incredible, Thea Trinidad, Lady Tapa, Lance Hoyt, a few members of the Bullet Club. I can't think of their names off the top of my head, but and Davey Boy Smith Jr.
Yeah, okay. All right, and on that note, the fastest 2 hours of radio is up. Felix, the last Fred standing, thanks a lot, my brother.
Not a problem.
And I shall talk to you during the week.
I'll be here. You know how to reach me, and we'll work on getting more vets in for the show coming up. I'm working on Dr. Tom and a few other names to see what we can do for this Independent Wrestling Month.
All right, my brother. Thanks a lot. I'll see you next week.
Talk to you next week. All right. Bye-bye.
Millions of dollars. Make it move, make it move, make it $1 million move. Make it move, make it move, make it $1 million move. Make it move, make it move, make it $1 million move. Make it move, make it move, make it $1 million. Now everybody move, move. Now everybody move, move. Now everybody move, move. Now everybody move, move. Make it move, make it move, make it $1 million moves. Got $1 million swagger and $1,000 shoes. Make it move, make it move, make it $1 million move. Got $1 million way to get it. All we do is pick and choose. Make the move, we can't lose. We get money, act the fool. Took on 100, talking thousands. When it spit that all on juice. Talking diamonds, ain't we binding? Ain't we shining on them suckers? Talking dollars, Trump and Donald, they keep climbing on them suckers. Ain't nobody, can't nobody out there touch us. All the players wanna be us, all the ladies wanna love us. Don't forget us for a bit. Sitting next to Warren Buffett, what we talking money. Mention that you must discuss us and it's